Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. So you can't see it, but I am not using my normal setup. I have changed a bit. You may notice the back of me looks a bit different, but the microphone is now floating in front of me. I have one of those like arm things. Before I had the actual microphone directly in front of me, it was on top of something and that was the only way to record. I got an arm, so you may notice it's like away from me a little bit because I'm used to talking to it directly like this. So it's going to be a test to see. I mean, I know it works, but it's more of a if you can all hear me properly. I did a couple of test videos. I know that the sound works, but I know that people are maybe used to hearing me in another form or fashion. This is actually wonderful. I'm not used to having things free in front of me. I can actually use my hands as opposed. Anyway, the point is new setup. We're going to see how it works. And without further ado, after all of that, let's jump right into it. A senior executive at the and a lot of the news is very weird today. I don't know if it's something about the weekend that kind of throws us into this really weird, awkward, like tons of rich people coming forward and constantly talking and bragging about Bitcoin kind of thing. But alas, here we are. It says a senior executive at US-based financial giant Citibank has penned a report drawing on similarities between the 1970s gold market and Bitcoin. It says a whole of Bitcoin's existence has been characterized by major price swings. It said exactly the kind of thing that sustains a long-term trend. This was said by Thomas Fitzpatrick, a managing director at Citibank, in his report solely intended for the bank's institutional clients. The interesting part about all of this is that this was meant for very wealthy people. This basically leaked out and we got the information. This has happened a lot of other times before. I mean, not like a storm. That doesn't make any sense. Not like 1,000 other times before, but we've had instances where documentation has leaked to us. Like I think we also got leaked documentation about the PayPal thing and also about the people from the New York Stock Exchange launching Bakkt. So here's another one. Once again, this was only meant for very, very, very wealthy people. The report was first leaked to the cryptocurrency community by Twitter user Classic Macro in a tweet on Saturday, noting Fitzpatrick is a big fan of moon targets. Fitzpatrick points to the Bitcoin's weekly chart and used technical analysis of prior highs and lows to determine a target. This guy said that by the end of next year, not 2049, not 2028, by the end of next year, determine a target of Bitcoin's price for $318,000 a coin. I was just chatting with my friend literally yesterday, about the prospect of Plan B being correct and what the world would look like with a $100,000 Bitcoin. And then we said what would even be crazier is if Bitcoin hits $288,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. It's not insane. Like, it's not like I don't think it's going to happen. It's the world will have fundamentally changed completely inside and out if Bitcoin reaches a price, when Bitcoin reaches a price that is going to usurp the US dollar. Our parents, us, our grandparents have only lived in a world where the US dollar has controlled everything. Imagine Bitcoin has been around for 14 years and it completely dethrones the US dollar. What then takes place the next 10 years as Bitcoin continues to exist? How high exactly does Bitcoin go? The other part being, and I've said this before, sorry for punching near the microphone. How many times have I said, it's insane that we keep getting reports of rich people telling other rich people, this news was not meant for you. It was not meant for me. This is for the hyper wealthy, telling them that this asset that is currently $16,000 odd is going to go up to $300,000 within the next 13 months. Do you know how insane that is? And this is because this was leaked. Imagine if this had never been leaked. Imagine all the other banks and institutions who are sending this exact same thing to their clients. Hey, you should think about buying about 5 or 6 Bitcoin. Okay, that sounds totally fine, whatever. And you get what I'm saying. It's nuts. Like, these things are absolutely insane. So the point is, we have now had news from several banks on this planet, several. It's not just Citibank, multiple banks across the planet who have come to the conclusion and have sent out information to their institutional clients that we happen to get that pretty much states that by next year, Bitcoin is going to be over 200,000. That was always the common thing. It was never a 100,000. It was never a 150K. It was always over. It was like 212,000 or some odd number like that. Same exact conclusion. That's what I said at the beginning of this year. I said, doesn't it seem kind of odd that all these banks are coming to the exact same conclusion? And then we got news about this bank wanting to get into it. This bank was offering this bank was doing so. And so I was like, it's kind of weird. Bitcoin's been around for 12 years and they just all happen to be throwing as much money as possible into Bitcoin, launching Bitcoin services, cryptocurrency exchanges. This is why. Because internally, this means that all the banks, all of them, have come to the exact same conclusion. There's of course more bank news as we go through the video, but think of how insane that is. If we have several million millionaires on the planet who are being told in some form or fashion have some sort of exposure to Bitcoin. There are only 21 million Bitcoin. 6 million of them are lost. The other 2 million, odd million, whatever, won't be mined until the year 2140. And when rich people are buying Bitcoin, they're not simply just buying half a Bitcoin, a whole Bitcoin. They're buying like thousands, if not hundreds of hundreds at the exact same time. So anyway, if this doesn't drill it home, I really don't know what else will. Here's the actual tweet right here that someone got. I tried to blow up this image right here, and here it is, but it's all blurry and stuff like that, but you kind of get it. It says Bitcoin 21st Century Gold from Citibank. Like, this means that, now here's an assumption, but this means that Citibank is already not only into Bitcoin, but probably owns some Bitcoin. I'll say directly. I was going to say indirectly, but you don't release something like this telling your clients to get into something like this if you don't have direct exposure to it yourself. I wish we had a proper number for all the banks on this planet and exactly how much Bitcoin they had. I don't think that it would cause a mad dash from retail investors or everyday normal people, but I think more rich people would start to buy it up, and we'd see those price movements that would then get the normal people and or retail investors to fly into the market. This is crazy. Think of where we are right now. Think of where we've been in Bitcoin's price over the last couple of years, and think of the effect that this is going to have on an economic, global, macro, insane scale. If Bitcoin goes from 16,000 US dollars right now to $300,000. I know a lot of you are freaking out, even just me saying that number, and I know my friend is as well. Oh, actually, all of you should. Like, none of you should be like, oh, 300K. That's insane, and that's potentially 300K from you doing nothing. You bought Bitcoin. It's sitting on your computer. It's sitting on a website, and in 13 months, you have $350,000. This one says micro RSI shows Bitcoin is on the verge of a massive bull run. Yeah, clearly, of course, everyone thinks the same exact thing. It says Market Watch Bitcoin gained $500 since yesterday, heading to 2020 highs. And this one, there was a lot of like random altcoin news. There's always random altcoin news talking about where this is going to go, where that's going to go. It says the number of XRP whale addresses has made a new all-time high. Not surprising. We got news about this for Bitcoin. We got news about this for Ethereum. I assume everyone's gathering up as much coins, not even that they believe in, which they think may do the best X as time goes along. If Bitcoin does a 10, 20, whatever X, sometimes XRP may do a 26, 28X. So everyone's trying to make the most amount of money and what have you. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I hope people get the significance of all of this because your wallet will. All right. And without further ado, let's move on. Also in very weird banking institution money, let's defend Bitcoin. We like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is awesome news. All of that stuff in that's the name of this entire thing. Fidelity Digital Assets, a subsidiary of Fidelity Investments, has responded to some of Bitcoin's most frequent criticisms, suggesting clarity is needed amid heightened interest in the cryptocurrency. In a blog post on Thursday, Director of Research Ria Butoria said she was addressing persistent criticisms and misconceptions about the cryptocurrency. These include whether Bitcoin is too volatile to be a store of value, has failed as a means of payment, and is environmentally wasteful. She said, Bitcoin's volatility is a trade-off that makes for a perfect supply inelasticity and an intervention-free market, she said. But with greater adoption and introduction of derivatives and investment products, volatility may continue to drop. The entire idea, one of the main criticisms for Bitcoin for a very long time has been that it's far too volatile. No one's ever going to use it as a currency. I don't want to say that these people are, I won't call them idiots. I say they're just, what's the word? They're willfully ignorant. I can't put any other word into it. Mathematically, we've heard from many banks, many institutions, and many mathematicians in the cryptocurrency space that as more money gets pushed into Bitcoin and the higher that Bitcoin's price goes and the more liquidity that there actually is in the market. So, for instance, if there's only $1 million in Bitcoin and you cash out $500,000, Bitcoin's price will collapse. If Bitcoin's market cap is 7 trillion and you take out $1 million, it doesn't move at all. So this is what she meant by the derivatives and investment products. If other things are tied to Bitcoin and Bitcoin is being used on a daily basis around the world, is being constantly moved around, people are investing in different ways, Bitcoin's price will continue to rise, but also become a lot more stable. And this is where we kind of get those ideas from of Bitcoin hitting $1 million per coin, being incredibly stable and either being used as a world currency or being used as a world currency store of value that then has other currencies pegged to it, what have you. I found this interesting because this was also one of the most popular news stories around. I found this interesting simply because rich people are now defending Bitcoin. This goes into the same exact alignment with the news stories that we've been getting from other rich people who are coming out in support of it. It's usually hedge fund managers and stuff like that. But they go on the news to talk about how great Bitcoin is, how awesome Bitcoin is, how wonderful Bitcoin is, how Bitcoin's going to change the world. And I'm like, that's quite significant for someone who just 2 years ago completely hated Bitcoin, and the entire idea in their head was blockchain, not Bitcoin. So when you get these kind of things, this means that people have been coming to them. A couple of things. They've either gotten annoyed with the fact that they're still hearing this nonsense that people were saying in 2012, or they've come to the conclusion that a lot of people who are looking to invest with them have sent them emails saying, Bitcoin's to this, Bitcoin's to that. And they're like, no, you know what? Right now, make a website, show all of them exactly what's going on, because they know that all this stuff is bullcrap. Not this news, but they know that any other type of thing that someone says against Bitcoin has already been completely disproven. We've gone over this multiple times, but a lot of people who are trying to get into the market, get into the network, or maybe just are slightly curious to see exactly how the market's going to work, they're used to hearing the nonsense from a couple of years ago. So when they come forward, they go, well, I heard that Bitcoin's this, I heard that Bitcoin's that. So you have to do all these things. But the fact of the matter is, it's Fidelity. It's not me. It's not other crypto YouTubers. It is now Fidelity Investments who is coming forward and being like, no, we are going to make sure that we put up a shield in front of Bitcoin and let people understand it more. The institutional interest is very strong. We are no longer in a situation where we're like, okay, maybe the big money is going to get in. Remember 2018 when the entire idea was, especially from the Gemini twins, that we were waiting for rich people to get in? They're here. Anyway, that's the Fidelity news, and let's us move on. Oh, that's also part of it. Asset giant Fidelity tackles 6 criticisms and misconceptions facing Bitcoin. Insane. Absolutely insane. I don't even have to read through this one. This one says, crypto analyst expects Ethereum and DeFi to go on a stupid run. The idea being, and this is not the only article that was similarly titled, they didn't use the word stupid run, but it more had to do with, we are apparently on the cusp of seeing Ethereum 2.0 as of now, as it stands. If we get Ethereum 2.0, and I dare even say when at this point, whenever it does happen, they're expecting Ethereum to go on a bit of a bull run by itself. And this is what I think is going to actually be one of the catalysts that brings Bitcoin up. Expect one of two things will happen. I know it sounds dumb. It's kind of like that. Well, the price will go up or the price will go down. It's kind of that kind of. I assume that Bitcoin within the next couple of weeks is going to start moving up rapidly, which will get us towards that $20,000. The other side of it, I think that Ethereum will actually be the main catalyst for the entire market to move up. This is why I said, it's kind of the one or the other. If we're getting so many banks and institutions and Plan Bs talking about that Bitcoin's price by the end of this year is going to hit past 20,000 US dollars, sure, I assume it'll happen. Why the fudge not? The other part being, I think that the main insanity is going to come from Ethereum, the amount of Ether being locked inside of the system, all the new projects that are going to be launching on top of it, the other support that we're going to be hearing from other institutions. I assume we're going to get some grayscale news sprinkled on top of it around mid-November, maybe. No. No, I say give it a mid-December kind of time frame where they're going to be like, well, we've increased our holdings of Ethereum. And I'm like, of course you have. If Ethereum can do all these things, if Ethereum does upgrade, the price is going to rise regardless. I expect the day after the upgrade has happened, we're going to see a price dip because people are idiots and they sell whenever they try to sell the news, but then the price ends up going up and they end up having less Ethereum than they did before when they should have just kept it as opposed to trading it. Price is going to rise. The DeFi coins are going to skyrocket. All the other altcoins are going to try and mimic it. Bitcoin's going to fall behind a little tiny bit because Ethereum's going, just completely crazy. And that's when we kind of get that entire insane thing. We're on not even the cusp. I was going to say something else, but that seems a little weird, so I won't say it out loud. We're here. We're at the moment where everything is finally taking shape, and it's a little exciting, I won't lie. We've been waiting a while for this moment to happen. I was discussing with my friend how I personally am waiting for the market to, skyrocket. And he told me, he's like, well, isn't a 5x in price enough? Meaning, the amount that Bitcoin has risen during this year and some of the other altcoins. And I was like, no, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I want the crypto market to go so high that I wake up with heart palpitations, worried if not only the price has risen during the night or if I should sell because I'm afraid of the price is crashing. Like, that's the kind of numbers that I want. I want a $222,000 Bitcoin, and I want to sit there with sweat on my brow and go, is it time to sell because I need to buy a house? That kind of thing going on in my head. Anyway, that was the Ethereum DeFi stupid run news. I didn't expect to spend that much time on that. And let's move on to another very popular news story. It says Americans have just elected Cynthia Lummis as their first female pro-Bitcoin senator, and she seems ready to make history. Stuck in the past, Bitcoin adoption, yada, yada, yada. In an interview for the TV show Good Morning America, Lummis spoke about Bitcoin's advantages and its appeal as a store of value, something she learned during her role as Wyoming's state treasurer. She said, here we go, I do hope to bring Bitcoin into the national conversation. Oh my gosh, do you get how crazy this is? Could you have imagined 8, 9, 10 years ago that we would have people talking about bringing not only Bitcoin, when you bring Bitcoin into the national conversation, it's because you want people to know more about Bitcoin. You want more people to get into Bitcoin, to buy more Bitcoin. This is, in its own little way, Bitcoin is a direct competitor to the US dollar. To have someone on the Senate, on Congress, anywhere, in any country, say, I think we need to start discussing Bitcoin more. She said, I'm a former state treasurer and I invested our state's permanent funds, so I was always looking for a good store value, and Bitcoin fits that bill. The senator discussed how Bitcoin scarcity provides a competitive advantage. Come on. The senator discussed how Bitcoin scarcity provides a competitive advantage over the inflationary US dollar. Lummis said this was one of the reasons she decided to invest in Bitcoin as the best storage value mechanism. I wonder where the US dollar is going. The amount of banks and institutions within the United States and now senators, and I can only imagine the other people behind the scenes, these conversations have to be mind-blowing. I think we need to talk about Bitcoin more because the US dollar is garbage. I just bought up 500,000 Bitcoin because of X, Y, and Z. Our institution now has $500 million worth of Bitcoin. It's a little... The word isn't alarming. It's surprising is what I'd kind of like to say. Anyway, this is, of course, very popular news. It's not every day that you get someone who has a senatorial seat, congressional seat, parliamentary seat anywhere, who's like, the currency that we're using is not that good. Maybe we should switch over to something else. I love it. You love it. I wonder where the world's going. I really do honestly wonder if in 10 years we will still have the US dollar, or if we still have the US dollar, what will it look like? Will it have inflated? Will we look at people like this woman as like a, wow, that's insane that she knew the future kind of thing? But I think we all know that cryptocurrencies are going to, knock it out of the park, if you can say that. Also in popular news, because, this is another bank, the largest bank, the biggest bank in Belarus, ASB Belarus Bank, has teamed up with local crypto payments firm Whitebird LLC to launch a cryptocurrency exchange. Once again, the largest bank in Belarus now has their own cryptocurrency exchange. Why would they be doing that? Because they know where the future's going. According to local news agency Prime Press, ASB Belarus Bank rolled out its crypto exchange services on the 13th of November, allowing its customers to buy and sell cryptocurrencies through Visa card payments and exchange crypto assets for Belarusian and Russian rubles, US dollars, and euros. For now, only citizens of the Republic of Belarus and the Russian Federation can enjoy Belarus bank services. That's totally fine. I didn't expect them to have a worldwide rollout for their cryptocurrency services. It's totally fine that it's just citizens or people who live within that country. Through their joint project with Whitebird LLC, Belarus Bank will soon expand the list of available cryptocurrencies available for exchange on its service. There's no actual list of which cryptocurrencies they have. Rough guess, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I would even dare say Bcash, simply because of the fork, just how it is. Maybe even Litecoin. Here's the actual article right here. I doth not read this language, so yeah, I don't see any cryptocurrency words either. The point being, largest bank has cryptocurrency exchange. No one should be surprised. This is just how the world is right now. Don't forget all the other banks around the world who at the beginning of this year also expressed interest in being able to, hold, buy, sell, and custody cryptocurrencies. The next 4 years are going to be nuts, dude. Like, oof. And to finish things off, non-fungible tokens that are discernible from other tokens, they do not look the same as other tokens, have grabbed the attention of centralized crypto trading platforms as KuCoin plans to launch a non-fungible token exchange through its liquidity trading platform. Hong Kong-based cryptocurrency exchange KuCoin aims to enter the non-fungible token market as its liquidity trading platform PoolX will open deposits on non-fungible token assets starting on the 16th of November. That's today. PoolX will launch an exchange platform designated for NFT tokens in the upcoming months. According to the announcement, the PoolX exchange will open the deposit services of yada, 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 yada. Non-fungible tokens are becoming, here's the actual press release. Non-fungible tokens are becoming quite popular. They're very popular within the digital art world, as you're able to say, hey, this one looks completely different than this one. This is the only one that can ever exist because it is a non-fungible version of every other token. To have an exchange for it, I guess kind of makes sense. We are still in 2016 and 2017, we were having discussions as to digitizing securities, and you also have to make these NFTs as well, and also digitizing real estate. I think I got really hyped back then. We haven't seen a lot of that, and I'm not sure if it's simply because of 19 floating around everywhere, but the idea is that eventually everything that has value will be digitized and will be able to be fractionalized. So I guess this does make sense in a sort of way. I mean, also, there was news about a year ago that some company sold off a Picasso or Warhol, somebody famous, and they digitized it, and it was fractionalized and sold off in this way, so people would be able to pay like $5,000 for a fraction of the piece of art, which is insane to think about, but it's also very good if you don't have 17 million to invest in that piece of painting, so why not just invest 5,000 and you're still making money fractionally. So this is, of course, going to be very big. I think the news is that maybe KuCoin did it first, so therefore they're in the news about it first. Yeah, sure. Why not? Congratulations to them. And let's move on. I just realized, once again, I don't have my phone. I should really start carrying it with me everywhere. I then will simply thank all my Patreon supporters as a whole. Thank all of you. You're all absolutely incredible. I do appreciate your patronage and your generosity. I mean, really, I do appreciate it, especially during a time like this. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who is still watching. Thank you to everyone who just watches and enjoys the channel in general. Thank you for all of your watchingness. Anyway, at the moment, Bitcoin is at 16,312 US dollars. It is currently up by roughly 2%. Sometime as we were sleeping a couple of hours ago, Bitcoin started pumping up in price once again. Bitcoin is looking very healthy. The other altcoins are in the red. Litecoin is up by 8%. There was no Litecoin news. I'm not sure if it's because we are maybe near potentially upgrading Litecoin with Mimblewimble, which then by association will eventually mean that Bitcoin will get Mimblewimble. XRP is up by 0.7%. Not really sure why. It looks like maybe a lot of the coins are just trying to get that pump that is currently happening from Bitcoin, but Litecoin is taking advantage of it the most. Anything else crazy? Monero's up. Amazon. Dash is up by 5.81%. Not really sure why. Waves, what the? Waves is up by 16%. Why though? Dogecoin is on a roller coaster, and everything else looks like they're all following that same upward movement by Bitcoin. We'll see exactly what happens. I mean, we don't have a choice as the day ends up going on. I wish I could explain to you how excited I am about this microphone floating in front of me. I wish you could see that it is floating. It is kind of cool. I may change the camera angle at some point so that you can actually see the arm, but this is perfect. I'm very excited that I got this thing. It took me a while to finally get one because I was used to the old setup, but this is quite nice. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. I hope you enjoy your Monday. I know it's a Monday, but the week will go by. Hope you enjoy the beginning of your week. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See